Sonic Boom! We're here talking about E3 predictions. Matthew Kershaw, how excited are you?
I'm so excited I could jump off a roof.
Absolutely. My name is Carl Schumann. We've got Nintendo, Katakawa, and all the rest. How cool was that? I could be on radio with a voice like that. Don't deny it. I smiled all the way through that, and I was doing hand signals even though I'm alone in this fucking sweatbox of a room with nothing but birds to keep me company.
When you shouted Sonic Boom, did you do like a hand spin, like Sonic spinning up in a ball?
It was kind of as if I was like, if I was flicking like cold fish batter or something from my fingertips. I don't know if you've ever done that.
No.
But it's got that kind of motion like a sideways flick and all the fingers splay out. Because I hate fish batter. I don't want that shit anywhere near my hands. Nintendo. They're going to have a weird E3 this year. I don't know if they're doing a Nintendo Direct. I assume they are. Are they?
They're doing the Treehouse thing, right?
Yeah, they're doing at least 2 days of streaming. Originally, it was just going to be Zelda, and they weren't going to talk about the NX. I assume they're not going to talk about the NX. It's real weird.
Man, 2 days of just streaming Zelda and not showing anything and just being like, here's the same trailer we showed you last year. Get hyped.
Yeah, it's going to be Bill Trinan talking about... It's going to be giving the...
Fuck Bill Trinan. He stole my waifu.
Well, they've said there's going to be a few more games there, but nothing about what they've said sounds exciting to me in terms of like, here's 2 days of Treehouse streams when we're going to play 10 minutes of Zelda over and over and over again. That could be weird. I don't know. I don't know what to think of this.
Yeah.
They've got Zelda on the cards. They've got Tokyo Mirage Sessions #FE.
What?
It's the Fire Emblem Cross Shin Megami Tensei J-pop game.
Is that the one with the weird hashtag that's not really a hashtag?
It's a hashtag on the press release. Definitely.
Good damn it.
Pokemon Sun and Moon and Go!
Yeah, boy, Pokemon Sun and Moon. I'm hyped for it. It's going to be awesome.
Go!
Yeah, Pokemon Sun and Moon. So great. The starter Pokemon are really cute.
Go!
Yeah, man, Litton's my favourite. I'm going to choose him.
Go onto Android and iOS. Phones.
No, that game doesn't exist. It doesn't exist, okay?
Mobile games. Nintendo and microtransactions. Pokemon Go!
Please stop saying Pokemon Go.
Okay. You wanted another game? Metroid Federation Force.
And moving on.
That game isn't out yet, is it? I'm sure we would have heard.
Didn't people hate the last Metroid game?
That is that Metroid game. The one they hate.
Wait, what?
The one they announced last year.
Okay, no, I was thinking about the one where they had Samus, instead of being like a strong, independent woman, she had to take orders from the male commander, and she kept talking about the baby every 5 seconds.
Oh, is that Other M?
Yes.
I've never...
Get it? Other M, because it's mother, because of the baby.
Other M, other male.
Yep.
I don't... I tell you what they're not going to talk about in the Treehouse streams for 2 days is gender, women, representation, or censorship. I guarantee it.
This is Nintendo. Nintendo don't allow gay relationships or people not to be the gender they were born as.
There's a gay character and a lesbian character in Fire Emblem Fates. Now, I only saw the gay character because I bought the purple edition of the game. And let me tell you, he was hot. He had an eye patch and real great cleavage. I'm not going to lie. But he was so gay. It was like super hammed up comic-y gay. Like,
really?
Like anime gay, basically. And I understand why he was written that way, but like, it rubbed me the wrong way. I just don't. A lot of the writing in that game didn't really hit me. I still married him or whatever, but I was really upset that I couldn't rub his chest. So
wait, I thought they didn't allow gay relationships in New Fire Emblem.
That's the one gay relationship in the entire 3 games.
Oh.
And if he's, I don't know if this is true, but I know in the Japanese version of the other game where you had the one lesbian character, you could drug her into liking you even if you were a dude. It was like some weird gay conversion thing.
Wow, fucking Japan.
I don't know if that's true for Niles, or Nile, whatever the fuck his name was.
Niall, oh my god, he's hacking the people.
Yeah, it was him and his buddy are like... His friend is like this fucking dark... His friend is actually really well written. I can't remember his name, but it was Otis or Oris or beginning with O, but he was like this super dark, like magician kind of guy talking about how he was staring into the abyss. He was like dead edgy, but he was wearing like some fucking like net pants. Like you could just see all his abs and shit and his ass basically. This was in Fire Emblem, but he wasn't gay, so I was super. But fuck that game. And he couldn't marry your brother, so fuck that game.
He was wearing fishnet pants.
Basically, yes, and a cloak. He was cool. Anyway, back to what Nintendo will have there, because Fire Emblem probably won't be there. Monster Hunter Generations? Yeah, I feel the same way. And I'm hoping the Pikachu Detective game will be there. Did you see that a few months ago?
Yes, and I heard that people wanted Danny DeVito to voice the English translation.
I just want the Japanese dude. Did you watch the trailer?
No.
So it's Pikachu, and he's walking in this fucking, like, I don't know, American city, whatever, and he's got a deerstalker cap on, like Sherlock Holmes. But, like, the guy voicing Pikachu, when he opens his mouth to talk, is, like, samurai voice, sort of, like, super gruff Japanese man. Really racist Japanese.
Instead of being, like, a cute little, like, Pika, Pika,
yeah.
Like, Kore wa nan desu?
Yeah, fucking shouting about seppuku and shit. Like, it was so cool. I just want that. I don't even want an English translation. Give me subtitles. Or don't. I like to imagine what he's saying.
You know, the English one, they'll get, like, a British voice actor because it's, you know, Sherlock Holmes-esque detectives. Yeah,
but I hope they ham it up. I hope it's not just like, oh, we've dubbed over him saying Pika Pika again. Because that would, like, miss the entire point of that game. Which is it's really cool. You should watch that trailer. I almost imagine him as like a New York, like, Bostonian accent or something.
Yeah, that's why people want Danny DeVito to voice him.
Yeah.
Because it'll be hilarious.
That would totally work.
Although people asked Danny DeVito if he would voice it, and his response is, "What's a Pokemon?"
That's the right response. He should go in with no context. Do not look at a Pikachu. Just do the voice lines like they ask and see what comes out.
God, yeah.
I want to apologize again for my terrible impression of the Japanese voice actor. It was extremely racist and I'll never do it again. Just to be clear. Anything else for Nintendo?
Star Fox, or does that come out?
That's come out. Nobody cared.
Yeah, I assume so.
They've said they're not talking about NX, which you would assume means they're not talking about NX games. So who gives a fuck about Nintendo at E3?
That's like every year, though, isn't it?
I always enjoyed them. Even before I had a Wii U, I enjoyed them. Just because they were so different. I'm interested in Zelda, but I'm not interested for 2 days in Zelda, you know?
That's all Nintendo have. It's just Zelda.
Is that the NX is just the Zelda? We put Zelda on mobile, guys. Buy this hot Nintendo-branded Android phone.
No, it's not a mobile because it has a cartridge system, but then it's also got VR, but then it's also got a fucking like touchscreen handset or whatever.
Yeah, the fucking VR rumor. We'll have to wait and see. I don't suspect we'll hear anything about that at E3. But if you're okay with us moving on, let's talk about Kadokawa Games. They've got a press conference.
Oh boy, I know you're super excited to talk about these people.
So, I know you went out and looked up the kind of things they did, because I'd never heard of them. I did the same. I couldn't get a lot of their names to translate in Google.
I couldn't find anything other than, like, you know, retail licensing and stuff like that. I didn't see any games.
They've signed on partnerships in China and, like, Taiwan, or Taipei, or one of the Tais. I know that much. They've signed a lot of developers. I read that on a press release. That was in English. The names of a lot of these games aren't, so you're going to have to... I've got them... Right, let's run down this list of games I've got. One's called R-Letter. I think there's a subtitle. I can't remember what it is. It's like a fucking visual novel game, basically. I think. I can't really tell. It's a lot of anime girls on a cover and some dude from a school.
I am interested. God
Wars. There's a subtitle there too, but it wasn't in English. The subtitle only existed when I tried to translate it from Japanese. God Wars, okay? Something the Third Evolution. Something
on,
FC Evolution. Something SC Evolution.
I really love the FC Evolution series. Can't believe I put out 3 this year.
Well, one's an FC, one's the third, one's an SC, as in Snake C. Maybe it's a Metal Gear Solid game.
Hopefully.
It's something because it was all Japanese characters mixed in with English, so I don't know. I think they've got a game called Stride. I've got a spelling error here, and I think it's called Stride. And
when you say spelling error, do you mean it's like STRYD, stride?
No, I've written a letter and then got it wrong and written over it, but I can't tell which one's meant to be right. So I think it's called Stride. It's either Stride or it's Striku. Either one. Now I say it out loud, it could be Striku. And Darius Burst Chronicle Sabers.
Jesus.
I don't know what. I think they're all anime. I know that much. I don't know. Is it a press conference or a stream? Do you know?
I don't know. It just said that at 9:30 PDT there would be a stream. I think it's a press conference.
I hope it's. I don't know. I hope it's fucking weird in the same way the Square Enix one was. You know? Do you remember that one from last year?
The really cringy one.
Yeah, where it's like here's this dude giving a fucking financial report on stage in front of a podium, and then the dude with the fucking weird ghost helmet.
Yeah, that was super weird last year.
I hope this is just they're gonna. I want them to do their press conference, but with a teen idol pop group or something. So they announce all their games and show the trailers while these teen idols are performing on stage or something.
What, like fucking Baby Metal's in the background shredding one out as they're announcing the third FC Evolution?
Absolutely. That's exactly what I want the entire thing delivered through Vocaloid and not translated into English.
I would get up until 5:30 in the morning to watch that.
Could you imagine how weird that would be? I don't think they'll do that, but I would love to see that. Did you find anything out about Katakawa?
No, I haven't even looked it up, but I was hoping you would explain it, and from what you've told me, I know everything about Katakawa now.
Yep, yes, absolutely. Well, let's continue on to companies that do not have press conferences. They may have their own streams, like Square Enix, for example. They had a stream a couple of days ago about the Deus Ex universe. Do you want to talk a bit about that?
They showed off Deus Ex Go, which is some mobile game I have no interest in.
Pokemon Go!
Don't start. I know it's people probably, Deus Ex fans probably aren't going to play it, but whatever, casual people will.
To be fair, the Go series is really well regarded on mobile. I know, like you say, Deus Ex fans, who gives a fuck, but the other two games have been really well received.
To be fair, most of that stream was Deus Ex fans going, who gives a fuck? Like, they showed off Deus Ex Reach, which is some weird tacked-on multiplayer hacking mode for Mankind Divided, and I spent most of the time being like, why would I bother playing this? It looks...
Why would you not release that a month early for free and get people hyped on your game?
Yeah, and I just looked at it and I was like, that could totally be full of microtransactions.
It probably is, but they said there's going to be there at launch, which doesn't make sense to me. Like, why would you launch two games at once? Even if one's smaller and tacked on, why would you not?
I don't think it is a separate game. I think it's in Mankind Divided. I'm not sure. They haven't really made it clear.
No, they talked about it as if it was a different game, but part of it. So it was weird.
Yeah, they showed off a lot of. Sorry, I'm yawning. They showed off a lot of the main game, which looks really good. I'm excited for that game so much so that I spent 2 hours yesterday watching videos of people with prosthetic limbs, conferences about how to fuse metal to legs so people can walk again. I love that kind of shit.
I know I sound quite down on Deus Ex at times, but I'll totally play that game if nothing else is out at the time.
Did you play Human Revolution?
I did. I didn't like it, but I like the subject, so I can be convinced.
Yeah, they need to focus more on the subject. I was really disappointed with Blops 3, because they made it sound like it's going to be super cool and focused on augmentations and stuff. It's that didn't happen. Mankind Divided, it's all about the mechanical apartheid between superhumans basically, and then just normal people being scared of the superhumans who are apparently getting hacked. And there's terrorism and internment camps and stuff, and they need to play that up. They need to play the divide between augmented people and non-augmented people a lot, because if they just make a run through shoot and sneak like Human Revolution was at times, it gets boring.
I think they need to take a leap out of Wolfenstein last year, when they went super hard into the Nazi and the discrimination and stuff.
Yeah,
they shouldn't shy away from that if that's what their game's going to be about.
I hope they do that. It could be, this game could be great, dude.
I hope so. I consider Deus Ex an RPG. Maybe it's more of an action game, but I have a problem with RPGs where I have to play as a person. because I never like them.
It is an RPG, and you do have to play as a person. You got to play super hot Adam Jensen.
Yeah, it's the same as The Witcher. I don't like being told I'm playing as a dude with a fucking beard. But that's just me. But I think that game looks cool. Like some of the different routes and the verticality and stuff seemed really interesting.
Yeah, I mean, there was no real verticality in the original game, from what I remember.
No, there was a little bit in Human Revolution, though. I remember dying, falling off a roof several times. Do you want me to run down the list of weird Final Fantasy spin-offs and Kingdom Hearts spin-offs we've got?
Oh boy, I love that series, sure.
Well, Hitman might be there, because that's episodic now, so we might see a glimpse of the next episode or something.
Apparently the episode's actually really good, and they're full of a lot of content.
Yeah, I've been watching Giant Bomb do, basically Let's Plays of them every time they come out. I loved the last Hitman I played. I don't remember which, I think it was Absolution. I really wish I'd played this. I wish I'd started playing this when it came out. Because the idea of, here's a couple of hours of content every month just sounds real fun. Star Ocean, Integrity and Faithfulness. That's an anime game, by the way. JRPG. That actually looks really interesting. It's out in a couple of weeks. I might pick it up. We'll see. I Am Setsuna. That's the... at the end of last year's stream, Square Enix announced a new RPG. I think it's called JRPG Factory is the name of their new developer. And their first thing was Project Setsuna. It's a JRPG called I Am Setsuna. Final Fantasy 15. It's coming out this September. Final Fantasy 12 Zodiac Children remake. I'm sure they'll talk about it at some point on somebody's stage show or something, on GameSpot or something. That's a remake coming out real soon. They announced it this week. I think Final Fantasy Mobius, which is the hot Final Fantasy phone game with the dude with his ass hanging out, I think that's coming out this year.
Sounds good.
It's like a really hot teen anime dude, and they had to put more clothing on him because men throughout the world were appalled at all the skin they were seeing.
I certainly wasn't.
Dragon Quest something. I've got a lot of V's written down, so it's a number. Deus Ex. Final Fantasy 7 remake. That might show up at Sony. Might not show up at all, but I'd look forward to some of that. I don't think Final Fantasy Explorers is out. That's the weird chibi game they showed last year.
Oh god. Yeah.
And I don't know if Dragon Quest Builders is out, because when I looked it up, there was some out-of-date information. So I don't know if that's out or not. But if it's not, it might be there. Dragon Quest Heroes 2 by Tecmo Koei. That's in development. Presumably it'll be there.
I know we've already done the Microsoft one, but do you want some hot breaking news about Halo Wars 2 that's just leaked?
Hit me.
There is going to be an open beta on June 13th.
Fucking, when's that?
That's the day of their press conference.
Oh, fuck's sake. That's shit, because I have to fucking stay up and do write-ups of Sony and Co.
It lasts between the 13th and the 20th.
Oh, that's alright then. We can play it later.
Yep.
Well, we'll have coverage of Halo Wars 2 Open Beta on GameDropZone.com. Now back to Japan. Kingdom Hearts HD 2.8 Final Chapter Prologue. I thought that'd come out, but I don't think it has come out. And Kingdom Hearts 3, which was... we talked a lot about Twinks when we were writing that up last year. I don't know if you recall.
Ooh, I always talk about Twinks.
And that's what I've got down for Square Enix. I think that's it. Oh no, they have Nier, don't they? Nier Automata.
Do they?
Yep, they showed that off last year at the end of the press. It's a cult. Nier was a really cult-liked game, and they're they're making a sequel with Platinum Games. So maybe we'll see a bit of that.
Maybe, I don't know. I stay away from a lot of stuff.
Did you like Saints Row?
No.
Okay.
I didn't like Saints Row ever since Saints Row 2. That's the last good one.
Well, you probably won't like Agents of Mayhem, which is the new game.
Fuck off.
This is not a Saints Row game, but it might be in the Saints Row universe. It's by the Saints Row team, published by Deep Silver. I don't know a lot about it. They've released a trailer already for it, which I haven't watched, I'm afraid. But that's their new game. It maybe it'll appear on a stage show. I don't know if Deep Silver's big enough for that. And I wonder, there's a couple of zombie games in development, wasn't there?
Was there?
There's a one that I think got cancelled or they've changed the development studio. Was that Dead Island? No. There was a Dead Island game and there was something else.
I remember that Dead Island one, yeah.
I think Dead Island's been cancelled or postponed or something. Because it was being made by Jaeger. And, I don't know. Maybe we'll see a zombie game and maybe it'll be published by Deep Silver. They certainly won't be talking...
Das Essen 9 wie der Jäger.
Yes. Speaking of Attack on Titan...
There you go, that was a segue.
Tecmo Koei will be there and in force. They've confirmed they're showing off Attack on Titan. I think it's got a sub... No. It's different names in the US and Europe because this is the European problems in publishing.
It's Humanity in Chains, isn't it?
No, that's the 3DS game last year.
Oh.
That I liked and everyone else hated. But it's got different names, basically, because there was a... one of them is just... Anyway, Attack on Titan. They're announcing a new IP, a new Warriors IP, like franchise, whatever you want to call it. They've been teasing it for a while now. It's made by Megaforce. They've got a website up, and it just has, I don't know, the date of E3 or something, saying it'll be the...
My fucking phone. Carry on.
Saying it'll be the evilest or the most evil warriors to date. So there's speculation that they're doing a licensed tie-in with Berserk. The really old anime/manga. It's really violent, people with swords and shit. And I'm like, think like Lovecraftian style monsters and stuff. I think they're just they've started bringing the anime out over into the West now. So
really, wow.
But judging by how cool Arslan: The Wise of Legend was, you remember that super anime game we checked out a couple of months ago?
Yeah.
On the website. I'm super excited to see if they do that. Of course, it might be something else entirely, but that's the speculation, is a Berserk Warriors game. They might have Neo there. That's the Team Ninja Dark Soulsy samurai game. They had an alpha for that a couple of weeks ago on the PlayStation 4. Romance of the Three Kingdoms is coming to the West. I don't know if that'll be there. Tukiden 2 is in development. I don't know if that'll be there because at the moment I think they're only showing it to like Japanese press at the minute. So that might be another year off. Like I said, Dragon Quest Heroes 2. They've got a turn-based strategy game called Dynasty Warriors Ixuden.
Weird.
Again, that's something they're showing off to Japanese press. So maybe we won't see it, or maybe that's the kind of thing you leave to Tokyo Game Show or something. And they're either releasing or have just released an Atelier game. So maybe that'll appear. Who do you want to hit on next?
I don't know who's left.
I've got notes on Capcom. I've got notes on Focus Home Interactive. Let's hit Warner Brothers because it's super small. Injustice 2 got leaked. And they're having a reveal trailer of that at the Mortal Kombat X finals this weekend.
Yeah.
So a fighting game. I'm sure there's some Lego there somewhere because there has to be Lego there. And I'm wondering if we'll get a new game from the people who made Shadow of Mordor, because that's been a couple of years now.
I don't know, but I know that in the new Lego game, is it Lego Universe? Lego...
Dimensions?
Dimensions, yeah, I know Sonic's in it, because they put out a trailer the other day.
Oh god, well, as you mentioned Sonic, let's talk about Sega, who
Are they doing anything? Are they finally going to make Sonic Adventure 3, and I'll actually buy a Sonic game?
They're making one better. They're making Sonic Boom, Fire and Ice. Sonic Go! They're not making a Sonic Go game, but I wish they were.
Good.
I'm wondering if we won't see some Total War DLC there, on like the PC Gamer stream, because that mess is happening again.
Oh no.
But that's been out a couple of weeks now, so maybe we'll catch a glimpse of what's coming up. They're having loads of post-release support for Total War Warhammer, but maybe that's a little bit further off. They're definitely showing off Dawn of War 3. I think they're showing off Persona 5, but that's been delayed till early next year. Yakuza 0 is definitely going to be there. Seventh Dragon Code 3 UFD. I don't... There's a game name there. I bet it's anime. And Halo Wars 2, which we've already discussed on our Microsoft predictions.
Yep.
Well, I know you love 2K. games.
Oh boy, my favorite. They make the favorite games I have.
They released Grand Theft Auto Online DLC this week. Did you see? Finance and Felony?
No, but I heard that they're not even going to make single-player DLC because they're earning too much from multiplayer.
Have you read anything about the Leslie Benzies lawsuit?
No.
So he worked on basically all the big Rockstar games. He was considered, and this was by people in Rockstar, as like the guy you bring on when your projects are like failing, and he makes it get out the door on time and stuff. He was a big guy. He was a lead of one of the Rockstar studios, and so he got like fired / asked to leave after a sabbatical last year, and he's like now suing Rockstar. But apparently, some of the things that come out in that thing was he was the one pushing GTA Online and like the houses, so the people who they're big creatives in Rockstar, basically the people who write the game and stuff. They didn't want anything to do with it, and it's just ironic to me that now they're coming around and now we're only going to do GTA Online stuff.
Yeah.
After firing that guy, I think they've got an NBA game there. Mafia 3, they're definitely showing off. They've had a teaser for their actual trailer. Are you interested in that? No. Not at all? Even though it's like...
Played one.
I think it's like periodic GTA, isn't it? But it's not by the GTA team, so...
Yeah.
There's meant to be... That Civilization game is meant to be coming out on the Vita, so I wonder if that'll appear. XCOM came out on the Vita.
People are still developing for the Vita?
Yeah, XCOM came out on the Vita like 2 weeks ago, or
what year
a month ago. My sense of time shot because of like college stuff, so anything I say is 2 weeks ago is probably like 2 months ago.
Yeah.
Do you think we'll see a Red Dead Redemption 3? A Red Dead 3?
Red Dead 2, you mean?
No, 3. Definitely 3. There was Red Dead Revolver, which nobody remembers, then there was Red Dead Redemption.
Oh, Red Dead Redemption's 2?
Yes, technically.
Oh, okay. I'm sure they'll make a new Red Dead. It's gotta be.
Did you see the map rumors?
I saw that. That happens every year.
I know. Could you imagine if they're not making Red Dead 3, but they're bringing it to PC? Suddenly it would be the darling announcement.
Yeah.
Did you like Red Dead?
Never played it.
Oh, it was like GTA, but with shit gunplay, because you could only fire one shot at a time.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
I liked it, but it was not as much as GTA 5. Do you reckon we'll see an Evolve 2, or anything from Evolve?
Please no.
Yeah, I'm wondering, I think they did a second season, but nobody's talking about that game anymore. WWE 2K17 is there.
Yep, that'll be a thing.
XCOM 2 for consoles, they've announced that.
That's a good thing, yep.
Civilization 6.
That's an interesting thing.
Is it?
People don't like the graphics and the art style. It looks like a Facebook game.
Yeah. If that's your biggest complaint about Civilization 6, I'm sure you'll get along with it fine. I'm upset that it's still a Civilization game. But whatever, at least it's not fucking Starships again.
Oh god, yeah.
I don't expect we'll see anything from the remains of the BioShock team. You know how Rational died and they reformed a small studio. I'm not convinced we'll see anything from them.
Probably not, no.
But, Capcom is going to have Monster Hunter there. We know that for certain. Obviously, we talked about in the Microsoft conference speculation for Dead Rising 4.
Yeah, that'll be there. Dead Rising 4.
They're continuing to pump out Resident Evil remakes. I'm not convinced they'll show up because they're so low-key. But Umbrella Corps, that fucking weird zombie first-person shooter game that people aren't hating, weirdly. The Resident Evil spin-off, I'm sure that's going to be there because that's coming out soon. I think for £25 or something. It's a discounted price. And you know my love of Onimusha.
Yes.
Intimately. They've talked about wanting to do stuff with that. They've made statements about using their old back catalogue. So I would love to see we're doing an Onimusha Warlords remake or something. And they pulled they actually re-upped trademarks and stuff on that a few months ago.
That's interesting.
They've got a Sengoku Basra game coming out, which is their take on Dynasty Warriors. That's really reductive. I'm sure Sengoku Basra fans will hate me for that, but I've never played it, so I can't say anything more. And I wonder if we'll see Deep Down, that game from the Sony press conference 3 years ago, that never came out. My secret hope is that's going to be a Neo game or something, They've kept it in development all this time. But it could just be dead, obviously.
Yeah.
And then I think I've just got Focus Home Interactive. Have you got anything else?
Nope, I have nothing.
So Focus Home Interactive, they're showing off this Warhammer 40,000 Space Hulk game. That's a first-person shooter. You shoot Tyranids, depending
I don't
on
know
you.
what that is, but okay.
They're aliens. They're xenomorphs basically, but with more color.
Yeah, you've explained these to me in videos about it.
They've got a Call of Cthulhu trailer. Came out today. I got a hot press release about it. I haven't watched it yet, but I'm...
No, I've seen it, but I haven't watched it yet.
Yeah, that's a 2017 game, so maybe who knows. The Technomancer is out in a couple of weeks, so I'm sure that'll be there. Vampire is the game from the Life is Strange people. It's about a vampire doctor in World War One in London or something. And he's like, he's trying to save people, but then also he needs to drink blood. And it's meant to be like dead, dark, and gritty, and like morally weird. So I know that's there. I wonder if it's more than just here's some concept art, because that's all they've shown so far. They've got a game called The Surge there. They've got Farming Simulator 17. Mordheim, City of the Damned, is coming to consoles, and I think that they've said that's going to be there.
Interesting.
And they're having a new Styx game, which is that weird goblin thing that people apparently like. And that's definitely there. And actually, they announced just yesterday, we have a news post about it on GameDropZone.com, that Space Marines DLC is coming out for Battlefield Gothic in a couple of weeks' time, on the 21st.
Is it?
For free to people who own the game already, and up until people who buy it on the 21st. Which, adds a new faction, basically.
That's cool.
And that's all I've got written down for the others. I'm sure there will be more. There has to be more. Developers
More
we
stuff
never
will
thought.
come out in time, or as we get closer and closer to E3.
Yeah. I'm just trying to think if there's anything else big that I've missed, but I can't think of anything. But I guess it's the surprises that really matter, and they always come from like third party.
Yeah.
I really want an Onimusha game, dude.
Really?
So bad. I want fixed camera angles. I want zombies that shamble in like one of two animations, and I want Samarusuke and his red armor. If I ever make a video game, you'll see the inspiration, I'm sure, of like games like Onimusha and fucking weird PS2 stuff.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah, as long with a lot of other stuff.
Yes, we'll have VR support. We'll have that, that fuckable thing. Oh, what's it called? The arm. Oh, I wonder if we'll see any cool, like, weird VR stuff like that, from people like Kadokawa Games and the like.
I don't know. Probably not, actually.
Whoever develops Tekken, I've got that weird, like, beach cabin talk to a schoolgirl demo, haven't they? PlayStation VR.
People wanted that to become a real game because they, like, fell in love with the character.
Yeah, that's weird. I just imagine the meeting to Sony where, like, here's Shuhei Yoshida chatting to this schoolgirl in the middle of a boardroom or something.
Man, that sounds like the great setup to a porn.
That's how they should open with the Sony press conference this year. Is just Shuhei Yoshida fucking this anime kid. So, do you have any other developers you want to talk about?
No.
I want to say Pokemon Go one more time. And when you're at it, go to GameDropZone.com. We've got predictions on all the other major players at E3. If we've forgotten some, let us know in the comments. It's at the GameDropZone on Twitter. It's at Matthew Kershaw _ on Twitter. And it's at Carl Schumann on Twitter. I'm the only one with a sensible tag.
Hey, it's not my fault that people took my name on Twitter, and he hasn't used his account in like 4 years.
If that Halo Wars 2 stuff is true, i.e. not just a weird a rumor of makeup or whatever, then expect some coverage from that. We'll try to get it up as soon as. But who knows, because we're going to be super busy. We have plans to cover all the press conferences and announcements and, the smaller news that surrounds it.
Yep, it should be fun. Lots of content.
God, I can't wait. So excited.